you are thinking, I will not hire this designers. So
Ah,
if this is the result, what could be the reason? What do you expect from him or her? How to submit it? How to complete it?
so maybe next time it's my turn to interview you as a Lalamove customer in Bangladesh.
Hello, everyone. This is Jun. Jun is head of design at Lalamove, currently based in Hong Kong. And as you know about Lalamove, it's a well-known platform. I think, Jun, can you please introduce to my viewers?
Yeah, so Lalamove actually is you can see it's like a Uber, but not delivering people, but deliver goods. Actually, our company already expand to most of Southeast Asia as well as South America, like Mexico, Brazil, all that.
First of all, thanks for joining. I know about you and about your work. Even you work for Grab also as a senior product designer, and you will be sharing knowledge to our audience. It will be great help for the community. So today we'll be talk about hiring product designers. Yeah, Lalamove also right now in Bangladesh. Recently,
Yes.
I saw their ad. Oh, that's really amazing. So I think that's going to be a great discussion. So can you share something about the hiring process of Lalamove?
The process like a big topic. So I can say because your audience is more like for junior role, mid-level role. So I just focus on the junior role, and because for the different seniority we have different process. But in general, so the high level of the flow is that in-house recruiter will screen the candidate for us when we get the application through different channel, LinkedIn or our application website. Once we get the application, then our recruiter will screen through phone call or email, or that we will send them a take-home design challenge to those potential candidates, which will be screened by our recruiter. After a week, the designer suppose will get us back those design challenge, and then a senior designer and I will filter those get those finished this challenge. Then we will see whether we to proceed to the next stage or not. If everything is all right, then we will have a workflow interview afterward. Pretty standard like the other company though.
What are the primary criteria then you decide, okay, I have to talk with these designers? Like, is it the resume or is it the portfolio? What are the first impressions?
I would say both. Of course, portfolio is one of the critical factors, but then because the portfolio cannot really tell us the mindset in a way, because we don't have enough context of previous project or that the company. So but we do look in the portfolio for sure, and then the major or more percentage of the criteria that we will look for may more based on the design challenge that we send.
If I talk about the design challenge, so
Hmm.
how do you expect that when you are given a task to a potential candidate, right? What do you expect from him or her? How to submit it? How to complete it?
First, like we will have maybe two options for them to choose. One is of course relate to Lalamove application, that some challenge for them, the problem that we aim to solve. And then the option two would be that, okay, up to the candidate, they can choose any application that they find it they're more interesting to like redesign, or they experience daily. They find so many users problem there, then they can pick anything they want. So two options, up to them.
Oh, so it's just like a design critic.
Not really. So design critic will be we will do it more like on site, but this is for more for a senior role. But for junior role, the take home challenge, that let's say the two options that I talk about. So we will in the brief guideline, that we will kind of mention what are deliverable that we expect from them, like maybe the assumption you have, and then how you make those assumption, or that and then of course have to some like the typical design thinking workflow, to see, okay, why you come up this solution based on these design
Oh.
intention, or that there's mainly focus on the design intention execution.
So you mainly focus on the design thinking, right? So
Yes.
what about the visuals? I mean, the UI part.
UI part as well. Let's say if the candidate, they take the existing app, like let's say Uber, right? Uber, then they already kind of the design system already you can find anywhere, or you can just based on the existing app to Photoshop whatever, right? So this kind of very hard to allow us to look in the UI skill set that much. That will be on the UX more, but so because of these kind of like constraint or all these issue, so I would say for the team or for the company or for us that the UX will slightly more important than UI, because the design system, the existing design system in the company, what we
Oh,
have actually can help a lot
right.
already. Yeah.
So you have already a design system. That's why you don't have to worry about the UI at all. The major thing is how candidate is developing his logic, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
That's
Mm,
really great. So
mm,
let's talk about the portfolio. So
mm,
when you think about a designer portfolio, it could be junior or senior or
mhm.
both. How a portfolio should be presented, like in a website or in a Dribble Behance, or it could be a PDF portfolio. What are your standards?
Actually, it's no standard up to the candidate, because after all that we just look for their design thinking, their mindset, how they approach a problem, how they have some assumption, how can they find out all these assumption is a valid assumption. So it's more like their thinking behind. The
Uh,
format is just a medium, so we don't really care. Of course, you have to be presentable. You can't just say just send me a one page, yeah, super long PDF. That is
not.
hard to, yeah, yeah. So of course they need to consider who are the audience, but
Hmm.
as actually it's quite common sense. I don't think most people will do that way. Yeah, but you're talking about PDF or website, actually is no preference.
The same thing that you share, the design thinking, how they are solving a problem, that's the main thing. Even when he is showing the sending you the portfolio,
Mm.
it could be a simple Google Doc also, but if you can see that, okay, he has done enough or she has done enough, so you are ready to call him or her.
Yes, exactly.
How important the resume and cover letter is, and what do you want to see?
Okay.
Suppose the educational background or the previous companies, the companies operating in the same industry.
Mm.
What do you look for actually in a candidate resume and cover letter?
Right, right. So I think different high major have different preference. Personally speaking, that I don't really pay attention on the resume that much, to be frank. Because some of our designer here that they also like switching the career, that they haven't have any designer background or
Hmm.
designing background. Yeah. So
Hmm.
we mainly looking, well, not really mainly looking, but what I may be interested is that what kind of company or industry they come from, to
Hmm.
see what are the different practice or mentality can bring to the team. Say for if they come from a consultancy agency, then
Hmm.
then you see the practice or the mindset they bring from the previous community here will be advantage, because the consultancy agency will be more very dig into the problem first. They understand
Hmm.
everything before they give the advice to the client. So that also compared to maybe another like the in-house design
Hmm.
agency would be totally different, because the in-house design agency could be just like one mostly work on the one-off project. They don't consider that the long-term
Hmm.
iteration or that. So this
Hmm.
may be what I slightly pay attention to, because that help me to understand there will be maybe a gap or weaknesses when they talking about or show us the design chart.
Right.
Mm,
Okay. So when you, I just say that suppose a freelancer CV versus a in-house designer CV, it's kind of little different. Like
mm,
a product designer who work for an in-house company, he can go deep and deep. And on the other hand, that freelancer who are not able to do it in the
mm,
most of the cases. Okay, that's really I got it. So if I give you a hypothetical situation, suppose
mm,
you have got a resume, you have got two resumes from two designers, someone who worked in the similar industry like Lalamove. On the other hand, product designer not with the similar industry. Who will get the preference? But
Actually, for me, it's no preference. All depends on the challenge, how they again, how they approach the problem, how they solve the problem, what are the assumptions they
Oh,
make, all
okay.
that, mainly purely on the thinking. Because we all know that it's all depend on the context. Even same industry, make it can be totally different context. Advantage for them, not for me, would be the easier to pick up when they join the company.
If he is doing the same thing for another company, so it will
Mm.
be easier for him to tackle the task. So it's good for him.
Yeah, not how we evaluate candidates. Of course, it's an advantage for them to easily onboard easier. Also for maybe
Hmm,
for us, it's easier to onboard them as well. And then we
hmm.
have kind of like common language, easy to communicate.
Suppose when in working in different region, is it difficult to understand the user, or do you need to hire a specific designer from that country? You are operating in India, you
Mhm.
need to hire designer from India. Do you think it will create a difference to understand the user?
I would say not really, but depends on company or depends on sizing of company. Because we're lucky that we have research team here. It helps us a lot to understand the regional or different behavior of
Hmm,
these different regions customer. And of course, it may be a slightly advantage if we have like a regional designer there, that they may get to know the users closer and may understand the behavior easier, and then they know some a trick in maybe some trick we were talking about a driver partner. Yeah, but
hmm, hmm,
again, different context. We because our headquarters is in Hong Kong, and then actually
hmm,
all the product manager and the designers are based in Hong Kong. So
hmm.
our product is for the whole different country. So I would say unlikely that regional design will be a big
Yeah.
our hiring factor. That not unlikely. Ultimately, that as a product designer, we should be able to emphasize the customer that we are facing, we serve.
So let me talk about the India projects. So suppose you are working for a company for full time in Lalamove, you are not allowed to show some of your projects, right? Some important projects to another recruiter. Suppose when I work for a company, I'm not allowed to share what's going on there publicly. So
Mm-hmm.
how to tackle? How other designers can tackle when they are switching to another company for a good opportunity? What do you think?
Actually, it's quite easy. Two things. Make sure when no matter what medium that you're talking about, make sure that you have a disclaimer in
Hmm,
the first place that
hmm,
you have to mention some these going present or the information have to be only shared between you and then the recruiter or the hiring manager, cannot be shared with third party. And then second is try to take out all the logo or sensitive personal
hmm,
data. All that it's quite, I think it's quite standard that if you
hmm.
disclaim all that and then you mention that everyone is aware of this sensitive issue, then should be okay. They won't share around the world. Yeah.
Great. Got
Mm.
it. I'm pretty clear about it. So let's give an situation like you are thinking, I will not hire this designers. So
Ah,
if this is the result, what could be the reason?
okay. Mainly, I think would be the not really related to skill. To be honest, I think more on the interpersonal skills. Speaking of that, would be like are the candidate is he humble or ego? If
Hmm,
let's say during the interview process, we will ask different questions, understand more why they make such decision, right? And maybe at a time that we may question why this or that, then in a way that you can feel or from the conversation that you know is like defensive on in certain level. Are they okay, they accept certain feedback, or how they communicate with
hmm,
the during the design critic or design review. So if we sense that or we observe, we know that or this candidate is super ego or are not
hmm,
able to take any feedback, then that would be a no-no for me. Because well, you know, no design is perfect. We just
hmm.
try to make the best solution at that time within certain constraints. It's not design thinking and
Right, right.
mentality, I would say. Yeah.
The behavioral thinking, totally. Okay, so if the person is collaborative, if he's flexible, he's open to feedback, then it's a green flag. Otherwise, it's a red flag. I can understand from as a design lead perspective. I led Truck Luck Bay for 3.5 years, and I saw, yeah, it matters when one designer, even if he's a good designer, it's better to cut this guy from the interview.
Yeah, stop early is better.
I will hire an average designer, no problem, but with a good behavior.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's talk about the design system. When a designer working in a startup, he don't have any design system, now planning to create a design system, what will be your suggestion to him?
Mm.
So is it
So mm,
easy for him to do from scratch or create a existing, use an existing one? What will be your suggestion?
I would say both, because
Mm,
depends on the need of your
mm,
design, and then
mm,
can you, because I don't think mostly you can reuse like existing
mm,
one, like the Uber based one and or
mm,
Shopify one and also IBM one. Is you may need to modify. So
mm,
easier that you can make use of that, but twist a little bit. But what you can find or download is just the tangible deliverable. But when you're talking about all the variation, the behavior of this certain component, and then
mm,
what are the long test handling of this certain component, that will be totally different story. But it's good to plan to have like a baby step to do all that. The easiest way, of course, make use of those. But at the end, eventually, you still need to make it complete that suit your existing design, as well as that the developer have to be aware of that you guys using that, and then when they build a modular component, that have to be to sync with each other. So yeah, advice makes both. It
mm,
cannot be really take a shortcut, to be honest, because yeah, if you want to, let's say if you say want to build a complete or even just a complete component, you
mm,
still have to so many things you need to cater, like what I mentioned, the sizing, of course, sizing, behavior measurement, long text handling, and then also if you have a motion, then you have to give the motion spec. So, but all these you can kind of know the what you need to prepare from material design. It's very clear. You can follow what they talk about, and also can talk to while you're building these component, you a design system, you should uh, um, onboard developer earlier as possible, because they
mm.
will ask you what are the missing part that we may overlook.
Let me share from my perspective. When
Mm,
work on a design system, I think building a design system is easy, but maintaining a design system is a lot harder to do.
mm,
So,
mm.
but it's worthy. After a while, it actually delivers a better efficiency to designers and developers, to the juniors also,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
even sometimes the marketing guy.
Mm, mm. So everything is linked, that save everyone's time, and then actually save communication issue.
Really?
Yeah,
Right now, what I see, suppose in various LinkedIn jobs, they hire designers only for the design system team. They have the team for design system. Do you
right.
have any team for design system, Lalamove?
I wish, but depends on the corporate, the sizing of the company. So yeah, definitely depend on sizing, because at Grab they do have a design ops there. They will prepare all the design component illustration and all that. But while compared to Lalamove, that we don't have that design ops, but in a way that it is good for everyone, actually, not everyone means that from junior to senior, that everyone able to understand how we build the design system from the scratch, and how the design system build when communicate with the developer. So if personally I prefer that different designer can involve in that, would be better, because it can build your all-round skill set.
Sometimes I heard from who was working as a design system manager in a company who said, if you don't have someone specialized in design system, then it could be a messed up. Sometimes junior designers can create component and you can have the same component,
Mm.
multiple component for the same thing. How do you
Mm.
deal with?
Of course, again, it's back to the communication. If on board those new joiner or junior, that they
Hmm,
clearly tell them, okay, this system we need to follow. When they face any component that cannot be reused or they think is not
hmm,
enough to suit the purpose, then
hmm.
they should discuss with the team together. So
Okay.
one thing is communication. Second is the design review or design critic will be able to spot or issue. But of course, there's a case we cannot avoid. But the Figma things good that we know if someone update, we will aware, we will know. Yeah.
So you are currently working at Figma.
Mm, 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 mm.
Oh, that's really great. We started our design system in Sketch, then moved it to Figma. So
Right.
really old
Oh,
it. I
yeah.
mean, increased our efficiency a lot, lot.
Mm,
Even the collaboration thing. Oh, this is awesome.
yeah.
Can't think something other than Figma.
Well, I think everyone start working in a Figma and then slightly and then slowly switch to no, sorry, start from Sketch and
Started,
slowly switch to
right,
Figma. So
right.
that's also a challenge that how can transfer all these to Figma because
Hmm.
it's different game. You kind of like have to review all that. Yeah, this wow, but no choice.
Yeah, Figma recently acquired by Adobe. What's your opinion?
I hope not, but for us, there's no choice. We already in the ecosystem, and they are the best so far for the
Hmm.
tools wise. Yeah.
How it feels when you are working with non-tech savvy people? What are the things that you keep in mind?
Yeah, so some country maybe you think this test survey actually may compare to other, maybe not. So I won't define them a test survey or not, but in general, what we need to keep in mind is like
Hmm,
accessibility that we need to cater or we need to consider.
hmm,
If you're really talking about the tech savage issue, then
hmm,
for me, and then relate to design system actually, that it's easier or we should bear in mind that we should follow what native
hmm.
component behavior because that most majority already experience with those component or behavior or gesture. It's not new to them. They know how to do that. In a way that means we should kind of stick to those common or native behavior, gesture, or component. Don't reinvent the wheel, but
Yeah.
try to make use what are the existing components.
That we always say that never reinvent the wheel.
Hmm.
Suppose if something is working and if it works for my business, then it's okay.
Yeah,
Don't need to show the extra creativity.
yeah. We don't need fancy gesture. If it doesn't work, no point.
Not needed at all. And especially when you are working as a solo designer in a startup,
Mm,
it should not take that risk.
yeah.
Great. So, Jun, thanks for joining today.
Mm,
Almost as we have come to the end.
mm.
So, if you have any suggestion for the designers in Bangladesh, those who recently started working as a product designer and working in a startup, what will be your suggestion to them?
Just keep learning, be curious that just don't limit yourself only to UX and UI, but also look something out of that song like maybe UX writing, product
Hmm,
management, behavior science, motion graphic, all that
hmm.
somehow eventually inspire you or help you along the way of your different project. Yeah. Mm.
Thanks, June. It was a really nice session. Definitely, it will help our designers in Bangladeshi community and as well as those who are hearing from outside Bangladesh. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
So maybe next time it's my turn to interview you as a Lalamove customer in Bangladesh.
Of course, sure. Let me know. Let me know.
Good.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
June, for joining. See you. Bye
See you,
bye.
everyone. Bye bye.